The ancient city of Jerash boasts an unbroken chain of human occupation dating back more than 6,500 years and is only about 45 kilometers north of Amman, and because of its water the site has been settled at least since Neolithic times. The city's golden age came under Roman rule, and the site is now generally acknowledged to be one of the best preserved Roman provincial towns in the world and one of the Decapolis cities once named Gerasa.
Built to commemorate the visit of the Emperor Hadrian to Jerash in 129 AD, this splendid triumphal arch was intended to become the main southern gate to the city. However, the expansion plans were never completed.
The south gate through which you enter Jerash dates from 130 AD and has a characteristic carved acanthus leaf decoration. The gate set the entrance of the main intercity road leading from Petra to Jerash. Temple of Zeus holds a significant place of reverence, being among the oldest sacred sites in the city.
The spacious plaza measures 90 m x 80 m and is surrounded by a broad sidewalk and colonnade of 1st century AD Ionic columns. There are 2 altars in the middle, and a fountain was added in the 7th century AD. This square structure now supports a central column, which was recently erected to carry the Jerash festival flame. Built during the reign of Emperor Domitian, between 90 to 92 AD, the South Theater can seat more than 3,000 spectators. The first level of the ornate stage, which was originally a 2-story structure, has been reconstructed and is still used today. The theater's remarkable acoustics allow a speaker at the center of the orchestra floor to be heard throughout the entire auditorium without raising his voice. 2 vaulted passages lead into the orchestra, and 4 passages at the back of the theater give access to the upper rows of seats. Some seats could be reserved and the Greek letters which designate them can still be seen.
Temple of Artemis dedicated to Artemis, the goddess of hunting and fertility and the daughter of Zeus and Leto. This temple was built between AD 150 and 170, and flanked by 12 elaborately carved Corinthian columns. 11 still stand. The construction is particularly impressive given that large vaults, housing temple treasure, had to be built to the north and south to make the courtyard level. The whole building was once clad in marble, and prized statues of Artemis would have adorned the niches. The North Theatre was built in 165 AD. In front is a colonnaded plaza where a staircase led up to the entrance. The theatre originally only had 14 rows of seats and was used for performances, city council meetings, etc. In 235 AD, the theatre was doubled in size to its current capacity of 1,600. The theatre fell into disuse in the 5th century and many of its stones were taken for use in other buildings.
The Cardo. The colonnaded streets of Gerasa are among the best preserved of their kind in the Near East. Although their orientation deviates from the strict Greco-Roman scheme, the usual designations of the main axes are used for them: Cardo for the central north-south connection and Decumanus for the two major transverse streets that cross the Cardo at right angles in the south and in the north.
On the western side of the Cardo Maximus is the elegant Nymphaeum, the main ornamental fountain of Jerash, dedicated to the water nymphs. Built about AD 191, the two-story construction was elaborately decorated, faced with marble slabs on the lower level, plastered above and topped with a half-dome. Water cascaded into a large pool at the front, with the overflow pouring out through 7 carved lions' heads.
Ajloun Castle, standing 1,250 meters above sea level, is a 12th century fortress that was built under the rule of the Sultan and military leader Saladin. The castle is set on top of Mount Auf and provides visitors with astonishing views of the Jordan Valley and surrounding desert. Over the years the castle has undergone many rebuilds, and although much of the original features no longer exist, there are many chambers, carvings, and towers to keep both adults and children interested.
The castle was constructed between 1184 and 1188 by the nephew of the Muslim military leader Saladin. Saladin fought against the Christian military during the Crusades in the 12th century. The strategic location of the castle enabled Saladin's army to look out across the Jordan Valley for invaders.
The castle is home to a small museum that contains historical information about its origins and a number of artifacts. The museum contains a collection of mosaics and interesting medieval weaponry.
A short stroll through the throbbing streets of the heart of downtown Amman and the glittering famous gold souk is the Grand Husseini Mosque. This Ottoman-style mosque was rebuilt using striking pink and white stone in 1924 by the late King Abdullah I on the site of an ancient mosque built originally in 640 AD by Omar ibn al-Khattab, the second Caliph of Islam, and is thought to be the site of the Cathedral of Philadelphia.
The Roman Theatre is the most impressive monument of Old Philadelphia, as Amman was known when it was part the Roman Decapolis, the city's network on the frontier of the Roman Empire in the southeastern Levant. According to an inscription, it was built during the era of the Antonine emperors, at the end of the 2nd century AD.
Its tiered, semicircular seating space, carved into the Jabal al-Jofe hill in 3 horizontal sections with a total of 44 rows, can seat around 6,000 people. It faces north so that the audiences are protected from the sun. Social rank dictated the places for the audience. The urban poor, foreigners, slaves, and women were restricted to the upper section. The stage building, about 100 m wide, was probably 3 stories high. The wooden stage elevates 1.5 meters from the chorus performance space, the orchestra, which has a radius of 13 meters.
Roman Odeon perpendicular to the axis of the Roman theatre, and delimiting Amman's Roman Forum on the east, is the Odeon, a smaller theatre mainly used for music, poetry readings, debates, or lectures. Built in the 2nd century AD, its semicircular seating space has a capacity of about 500 seats in 9 rows. It is believed to have been covered with a wooden roof.
Amman Citadel. Towering above the capital city of Jordan is the Amman Citadel. This historic site comprises a 1,700-meter wall that dates back to the Bronze Age, the iconic Temple of Hercules, and the Umayyad Palace.
The Temple of Hercules was built by the Romans, and today only a few parts of the structure remain. Visitors flock to the citadel to see the glorious hand that is believed to be the hand of a large Roman statue of Hercules.
Umayyad Monumental Gateway. ca. 730 AD. This prominent monumental gateway was the formal entrance to the Umayyad Palace. Visitors would be screened here and then wait to be announced to the governor before entering his palace beyond.
Inside, the monumental hall has a crucifix plan with a square central area and 4 recesses extending outwards from it. The arms of the cross are barrel vaulted at the north and south ends, and covered with semi-domes at the east and west sides. Windowsills on the upper part of the central area indicate that it was roofed, probably with a wooden dome, like the one which was constructed towards the end of the last decade of the 20th century.